Hello. I will be guiding you through our museum that I'm Roman, and Matt and Preston created. Here is our obelisk of ethical research. Okay, right here. Welcome to the Museum of Ethical Research. It's focused on exploring the past and present of research suppression, as well as the benefits throughout history towards humans from the human right to free ethical research. Our museum is a grand structure which guides visitors along a path through the history of research suppression, its modern variations, and exhibits about the wonders brought by freedom of research. We believe that our museum is a great place that emphasizes the importance of free ethical research because it guides you step by step through it. The different perspectives of ethical research present an argument for its right. Your first stop along this path will be through the history section, where exhibits are on display to show the many scientists who have faced persecution throughout history. One of these exhibits is the trial of Galileo, a scientist who was put under house arrest until death by the Catholic Church for attempting to spread the theory that the Earth orbited the Sun. The purpose of these exhibits is to demonstrate to visitors that the high value we place on knowledge and new technologies have not always been shared, and that many people have sacrificed their very lives for the advancement of knowledge for the benefit of us all. The next section revolves around modern suppression of ethical research. This section exhibits this section's exhibits explore the modern ways in which research has been suppressed. One example is the research of the COVID virus in China. This section helps to act as a reminder that through much progress for the freedom of research in our society, people still need to be aware that different organizations work to suppress knowledge for their own purposes. Finally, the third section of our museum looks at what has been discovered with unsuppressed research. This section's exhibits explore some of the most groundbreaking discoveries in medical research, such as the invention of vaccines. Our hope is that seeing the benefits that come from free ethical research, visitors will come to agree that to the importance of free research as they see how different their lives would be without the society altering discoveries given to us by science and research. All right, so let's get over to the beginning. Our first section, historic research suppression. You guys hop on. All right. Okay. All right, so our first section is about the life of Galen. Galen was a Roman physician and philosopher. He began his work as a surgeon for gladiators. Here are the gladiators. Interested in anatomy, he began conducting experiments on investigations into animals such as pigs and Barbary apes due to the ban on human dissections. So here's him working on an ape. A pig. My bad. Um, This ban led Galen to gain an inaccurate understanding of human anatomy, which spread through his many writings and treatises. While he helped accelerate the medical understanding, he also held it back for centuries. In treating patients, this misguided understanding led to many adverse outcomes and deaths. There's some researching or something. All right, so our next section is the trial of Galileo. Galileo made incredible discoveries through ethical research, rigorous experiments with mathematical analysis, and his research was suppressed through the church. The church put Galileo through trial, as seen in front of you, and then he was punished with formal imprisonment at the pleasure of Inquisition, which basically means house arrest. And he was restricted from any further ethical research. His discoveries marked progress in the scientific fields, with corrections toward old research and new discoveries, and the continuation of his great works through ethical research was restricted. Alright, so here's the scene. This is Galileo, and he's put on trial where he is put under house arrest by all these guys. Alright, here's our next exhibit. Um, it is about Nicholas Copernicus. Okay, So he was a Renaissance polymath, and his discovery of the heliocentric model was created through his ethical research, which was using observations from the naked eye. He had revolutionized the studies towards astrophysics and astronomy, and he questioned the Earth's shape. This, however, was against the Church's perception of Earth, and Copernicus's theory of Earth's motion was thereby prohibited. The suppression of his research led to Galileo's trial and held back scientists in his field to progress their research. The heliocentric model and his theories of motion are demonstrated in the model before you, showing that the Earth revolves the sun. All right. And that's really important, that scientists would gain that sort of knowledge and it was restricted, which held people back from making new scientific discoveries. All right, so the next one is the Novum Organum. So I'll check out this book right here. So I'll go to the first page. The Novum Organum. So I'm not saying that, but you get it. It's by Francis Bacon. The Novum Organum is a treatise written by Francis Bacon, which originated modern empiricism in epistemological view that stresses observation over priori thought. Bacon's emphasis on empirical evidence and skepticism towards traditional authority challenged the prevailing dogma of his time, which often relied on untested assumptions and authority-based knowledge. By advocating for empirical investigation and objective inquiry, Bacon's work paved the way for a more open and inclusive approach to scientific research, where ideas and theories are subjected to rigorous testing and scrutiny rather than being accepted based on tradition or authority. This approach has helped to prevent the suppression of innovative ideas and has led to the advancement of science and technology. Okay, dope. Whee! Yay! Okay, so this is the next section about modern suppression. All right. Okay. So in 1997, the U.S. passed. This is about gun safety, by the way. In 1997, the U.S. passed the Dickey Amendment due to lobbying of the NRA. This law banned the CDC from providing funding to gun violence research, as the law states none of the funds made available for injury prevention and control at the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention may be used to advocate or promote gun control. This ban was made shortly after a study from the New England Journal of Medicine found an association between firearm being in a home and a higher risk of homicide inside that home, as shown in the exhibit. While this ban was revoked in 2020, it nonetheless demonstrated how even in modern time research can be suppressed. Even in modern time, research can be suppressed by different organizations for political reasons. Since its origin in 2019, information on the COVID-19 virus has been suppressed by the Chinese government. Reportedly, all research within China on the virus had to be approved by the Chinese government before publication. This suppression has taken many forms. At first, China hid the severity of the outbreak from the rest of the world to maintain public image, slowing down the global response. Then, China failed to release data to the virus's genome to the which the WHO, which once again slowed down the global response. In addition, it is highly probable that China has downplayed the number of cases and deaths within its borders. These acts of suppression almost certainly resulted in more deaths due to COVID-19 than was necessary. as the consistent denial of the dangers posed by viruses, as well as the failure to release vital information, hurt the world's efforts to minimize the virus caused. What this example of research suppression shows is that damage of research suppression can have not on the entire world due to many lives being lost to an ill-informed global response to COVID, as well as the existence of such suppression in the modern world. So this is like a virus. This is like what represents the COVID virus. Whee! Okay. Wait. Hold on. Oh, okay. This molecular structure shown right here represents asfotamenamine, one of the first antibiotics discovered through the systematic research of Paul Ehrlich. So this research was completely ethical, and it represents one of the first antibiotics created, which has revolutionized healthcare. All right, our next exhibit is about electricity. Electricity is one of the most fundamental discoveries of all time, with the use of electricity being used in a multitude of ways all over the globe. Right there, it's being used, and it's being used on this computer right now too. But this represents a light bulb that is from the discovery of electricity. Electricity and its uses have been discovered through the accumulation of inventions and discoveries, some through ethical means and some not. However, important research of Michael Faraday focused on the discovery of electricity and magnetism in the 19th century, and Faraday asserted ethical attributes to all of his research to reduce potential harm to himself and to others. He went on to create an ethical guidelines himself for scientific research, such as in the Royal Institution's Code of Ethics developed in 1833. So he helped this discover electricity, which is used widely today. Oh, no, wrong way. Oh, oh. All right, our next exhibit is about gravity. In 1687, Sir Isaac Newton published his theory of gravity. He's right there. A popular theory for how Newton came to research gravity was that he saw an apple fall from the tree and began to ponder what was the force with which caused the apple to fall. Regardless of how Newton began his research, his discovery has become the backbone of countless topics, from theories to mathematics to rockets and satellites. Newton's discovery helped to facilitate some of our most advanced machines, while also becoming the most defining theories that guide our understanding in the universe. So he did this completely ethically with no harm to anyone, and it is a pivoting uh, use of research in our history. Oh, there you are. So our next section is about the polio vaccine. It is our last exhibit here. Okay, so the bottle and syringe provide the bottle and syringe here. The provide the vaccine to polio, a disease that was highly infectious and caused paralysis or death. The development of polio vaccine was instrumental in reducing the incidence of polio worldwide and has saved millions of lives. The discovery of the polio vaccine by Jonas Salk was found through strict ethical guidelines to ensure that the children who gained the disease the most, would not be harmed in the experiments that would help discover the polio vaccine. Consent was even gathered from parents as well, and with these ethical guidelines, a safe vaccine was created and save the lives of many. All right. And that's the entire museum. So we're done, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.